Have you ever questioned the truth of the Bible stories? This is a question that has been asked by countless individuals across the centuries. The pursuit of truth is an inherent part of human nature. We yearn for understanding, for knowledge, and above all, for truth. It's this quest that has led humanity to remarkable discoveries and profound insights. In our quest, we often encounter the stories of the Bible. These ancient narratives, filled with tales of miracles, divine interventions, and moral lessons, form the bedrock of many people's faith and beliefs. Yet they are also a source of deep intrigue and, for some, skepticism. Doubts about the truth of these stories are not uncommon. They arise from our natural inclination to question, to probe, and to seek evidence. The Bible, as a historical document, is subject to scrutiny like any other. Its stories are analyzed, debated, and sometimes even dismissed. Some argue that these narratives are allegorical, not literal, while others maintain that they are historical facts. But amidst these debates, one thing remains clear. The stories of the Bible continue to hold immense influence over our society, our culture, and our individual lives. The question then is not whether we should question the Bible stories, but how we should approach them in our pursuit of truth. Should we dismiss them outright because they don't conform to our modern understanding of the world? Or should we delve deeper, explore them with an open mind, and seek to understand their significance, their context, and their truth? In this discussion, we will not shy away from the doubts, the questions, and the debates. Instead, we will embrace them, for they are the stepping stones on our path to understanding. We will delve into specific Bible stories, explore different perspectives, and examine the evidence. As we embark on this journey, let's remember that the pursuit of truth is not about reaching a definitive conclusion. It's about exploration, understanding, and growth. It's about embracing the unknown, questioning the known, and always seeking. With an open mind, let us explore the evidence. Consider the story of Noah's Ark, a tale of a great flood and survival. This narrative, nestled within the pages of the Bible's Old Testament, tells of a man named Noah who was instructed by God to build an enormous ark. The divine directive was clear. A catastrophic flood was coming that would destroy all life on earth, save for the inhabitants of the ark. This massive vessel, 3 stories high and longer than a football field, was to house Noah, his family, and a pair of every creature that walked, crawled, or flew. As commanded, Noah built the ark and gathered the animals. Then the heavens opened and rain fell for 40 days and 40 nights, submerging the world under a vast, unending sea. In the aftermath, as the waters receded, Noah's ark came to rest upon a mountain top. Life began anew, with Noah, his family, and the animals repopulating the earth. It's an epic story of obedience, survival, and rebirth. But could there be more to this story than just a moral lesson? Could this be a historical account? Let's delve into the fascinating world of archaeology and ancient history. Interestingly, the tale of a cataclysmic flood isn't unique to the Bible. Similar stories echo in the annals of different cultures, from the Sumerians and the Babylonians to the Greeks and the Chinese. These narratives, separated by vast geographical expanses and cultural differences, all tell of a great deluge that wiped out previous civilizations. Furthermore, geologists have uncovered evidence of a sudden, significant rise in sea levels around the time the flood was said to have occurred. Massive flood deposits have been found in various parts of the world, suggesting a possible global event. Could these ancient stories and geological findings point to a shared memory of a real event? Could they lend credence to the biblical account of Noah's Ark? The evidence is compelling, though not conclusive, but it certainly stirs the imagination and opens the door to further exploration and understanding. Could this evidence point to the truth of Noah's tale? Next, we delve into the Exodus, the liberation of the Israelites from slavery in Egypt. The story of the Exodus is a captivating tale of liberation and divine intervention. It begins with the Israelites, a tribe of people enslaved by the powerful Egyptian pharaoh. The Israelites endured harsh labor and cruel treatment, but their cries for help did not go unheard. Enter Moses, a man raised in the pharaoh's palace but born of an Israelite mother. After a divine encounter with a burning bush, Moses was tasked by God to lead his people out of Egypt. Moses, armed with nothing more than his faith and a staff, confronted the Pharaoh, demanding the freedom of his people. When the Pharaoh refused, 10 plagues swept across Egypt, each one more devastating than the last. It was only after the 10th plague, the death of every firstborn Egyptian male, that the Pharaoh finally agreed to let the Israelites go. The Israelites began their arduous journey, guided by a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. They eventually found themselves trapped between the Red Sea and the Pharaoh's pursuing army. But in a dramatic twist, Moses stretched out his hand over the sea and the waters parted, allowing the Israelites to cross on dry land. When the Egyptians attempted to follow, the sea closed upon them, ensuring the Israelites' escape and marking the end of their bondage. The story of the Exodus, while rich in religious and cultural significance, has also been a subject of historical and archaeological scrutiny. Ancient Egyptian records and archaeological findings in the Sinai Peninsula have provided tantalizing clues that hint at the possibility of this story being more than a myth. Traces of ancient settlements and artifacts in the Sinai Desert, coupled with Egyptian documents that speak of a group of Asiatic slaves, suggest a historical context that could support the Exodus narrative. Could these pieces of history support the tale of the Exodus? As with any story of such magnitude and antiquity, the answer may lie somewhere between faith, interpretation, and the sands of time. At the heart of the Bible is the story of Jesus Christ. The tale of Jesus Christ is one of hope, love, sacrifice, and redemption. Born in Bethlehem, Jesus was said to be the son of Mary, a virgin, and her husband Joseph. His birth was marked by signs and wonders, leading wise men from the east to travel great distances to pay him homage. The Bible tells us that Jesus grew up in Nazareth, and when he came of age, he began his public ministry, which was characterized by healing the sick, comforting the downtrodden, and preaching a message of love and forgiveness. The historical evidence of Jesus' life is compelling. Writings from contemporary historians such as Flavius Josephus and Tacitus mention Jesus. Josephus, a Jewish historian who lived just a few decades after Jesus, refers to him as a wise man and a doer of wonderful works. Tacitus, a Roman historian, mentions Jesus in relation to the Great Fire of Rome and the subsequent persecution of Christians by Emperor Nero. Archaeological findings also give us a glimpse into the life of Jesus. The Pilate stone, discovered in 1961, has an inscription referring to Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor who presided over the trial of Jesus. This artifact serves as a tangible link to the biblical narrative. Then there's the James ossuary, a limestone box used for storing bones, which bears an inscription referring to James, the brother of Jesus. Yet the story of Jesus is not just about his life, but also his death and resurrection. The Bible tells us that he was crucified under Pontius Pilate, died, was buried, and rose again on the third day. His death was a sacrifice, a payment for the sins of humanity, and his resurrection was a victory over death itself. Does this evidence affirm the life and deeds of Jesus? While every individual must answer that question for themselves, the writings of historians and archaeological findings certainly provide a compelling argument for the historical existence of Jesus Christ, the central figure of the Bible. Now, let us examine these stories from a scientific perspective. It's a fascinating journey, isn't it? To look at these biblical narratives through the lens of modern science. It might seem like an unlikely pairing, the ancient texts and cutting-edge research, but there's more common ground here than you might think. Let's start with the story of Noah's Ark. Scientists have found evidence of a great flood that occurred around the time of Noah, as told in the Bible. While the exact magnitude and global extent of this flood are subjects of ongoing debate, it's intriguing that such a catastrophe aligns with this biblical tale. Now consider the tale of the Exodus. The Bible describes 10 plagues that struck Egypt, including an unusual darkness and the transformation of water into blood. While it may seem far-fetched, science has offered possible explanations. For instance, a volcanic eruption could cause both phenomena. Volcanic ash can block sunlight, creating darkness, and iron-rich ash can turn water a blood-red color. And what about the story of Jesus Christ? The Bible speaks of his resurrection, a concept that defies scientific understanding as we know it. However, the phenomenon of near-death experiences, where people report extraordinary experiences after being clinically dead, could give us a glimpse into such mysteries. Moreover, the Bible contains numerous references to scientific facts that were discovered much later. For example, it mentions the Earth is round and hangs in space, facts confirmed centuries later by astronomers. It also refers to the complexity and diversity of life, concepts echoed in the theory of evolution. So, what does all this mean? Well, it suggests there's a convergence between the biblical narratives and scientific theories. It doesn't necessarily prove the Bible stories are factual, but it does hint at a fascinating overlap. It tells us that these ancient texts and modern science can coexist, complementing and enriching each other. Could the Bible's alignment with science be a testament to its truth? That's a question for you to ponder. But one thing is clear, the Bible, in its timeless wisdom, continues to engage us in a dialogue with the mysteries of life and the universe. Archaeology offers us another lens to examine the Bible's stories. Imagine being an archaeologist dusting off the sands of time and discovering remnants of a city mentioned in the Bible. It's an exhilarating thought, isn't it? Well, such instances aren't mere figments of imagination, but realities that have occurred numerous times. Take the ancient city of Jericho, for instance. It's a key location in the book of Joshua, where the Israelites supposedly brought down its walls with a triumphant trumpet blast. Skeptics might dismiss this as a fanciful tale, but the discovery of Jericho's ruins, with walls that show signs of a sudden collapse, gives one pause. Or consider the city of Nineveh, the setting of the book of Jonah. For a long time, Nineveh was thought to be a myth until its ruins were found in modern-day Iraq. The unearthed artifacts and inscriptions corroborated its existence and grandeur, just as described in the Bible. Then there's the pool of Siloam in Jerusalem, where the Gospel of John tells us Jesus healed a blind man. For centuries, its existence remained a mystery. But in the early 21st century, workers repairing a sewage pipe stumbled upon the steps leading to the ancient pool, validating the biblical account. And let's not forget the Hittites. Once thought to be a fictional people, archaeological excavations in the late 19th century revealed an entire empire that matched the biblical description. These are just a few examples of how archaeology has unearthed evidence that aligns with biblical accounts. Of course, these discoveries don't prove every detail of the stories. Archaeology, like any science, has its limitations, but these findings do lend some measure of credibility to the historicity of the Bible's narratives. Can we consider these archaeological findings as evidence of the Bible's truth? That's a question each of us must answer for ourselves, but one thing is certain, these discoveries underscore the Bible's enduring connection to our shared human history. Above all, the truth of the Bible stories resides in the power of faith. This statement is not merely an assertion, it's a testament to the transformative impact of these narratives on countless lives throughout history. Faith, in its essence, is an extraordinary phenomenon. It's an unseen force, a beacon of hope, and a testament to human resilience. It's the power that allows us to believe in the unseen, to hold fast in times of uncertainty, and to persevere in the face of adversity. Now, let's bring this power into the context of Bible stories. These narratives, passed down through generations, have been a source of comfort, guidance, and inspiration to millions across the globe. They have shaped cultures, influenced laws, and guided moral compasses. They have sparked revolutions, fostered compassion, and instilled a sense of purpose. Consider the story of Noah's Ark, a tale of obedience, patience, and divine intervention, or the Exodus, a tale of liberation and divine guidance. Then there's the story of Jesus Christ, a narrative of love, sacrifice, and redemption. These stories and countless others have left indelible marks on the hearts and minds of believers, influencing their thoughts, actions, and perspectives. It's important to note that the power of faith is not merely about accepting these stories as historical facts. Rather, it's about embracing the lessons they teach, the values they uphold, and the hope they instill. It's about allowing these narratives to shape our understanding of the world, to guide our actions, and to inform our sense of right and wrong. The power of faith transcends the boundaries of logic and reason. It's not bound by empirical evidence or scientific proof. It's a deeply personal, profoundly transformative force that can illuminate the darkest corners of the human experience. So, as we reflect on the truth of Bible stories, let's not overlook the transformative power of faith. Let's not dismiss the profound impact these narratives have had on individuals and societies throughout history. Could the enduring faith in these stories be the ultimate proof of their truth? In our quest for truth, we have explored various angles. We ventured through the ages, tracing the footprints of Noah and his ark, following the exodus of the Israelites from Egypt, and walking in the footsteps of Jesus Christ. We've seen these stories come to life, not just as tales from a distant past, but as narratives grounded in reality. We've examined the scientific perspective, peering through the lens of modern understanding to decipher the mysteries of the past. The Great Flood, the parting of the Red Sea, the miracles performed by Jesus Christ, all these events, though extraordinary, hold the potential for scientific explanation. We've delved into the archaeological evidence, unearthing artifacts and exploring ancient sites that corroborate the tales told in the Bible. From the remnants of a massive ship nestled in the mountains of Ararat to the ruins of Pharaoh's chariots strewn across the seabed, the physical evidence lends credibility to the biblical narratives. Yet, it is essential to remember that the veracity of these stories is not solely reliant on physical evidence or scientific explanation. The essence of these narratives lies not just in their historical accuracy, but in the profound truths they convey about the human experience, about faith, about the struggle between good and evil, about hope, redemption, and divine love. These are not just stories, they are the testament of a people, a chronicle of their faith and their relationship with the divine. They are a reflection of our own quest for understanding, for meaning, for connection. In the end, it's not about proving whether these events happened exactly as described. It's about acknowledging the power of these narratives to inspire, to teach, and to guide. It's about the impact these stories have had, and continue to have, on millions of lives around the world. So while we continue to search for answers, to question, to explore, let's not lose sight of the bigger picture. For, in the end, the truth of Bible stories transcends the physical evidence, reaching into the realm of faith and belief.